Hey friends, welcome again to Rob's Rockin Roll HQ. I hope you've had a great week and wanted to share something with you. Today I was thinking, picture the scenario. A friend comes over and wants to have a bit of a jam session, and it's the usual thing, right? You guys, or you pick up your guitars and you're just strumming some random chords. You have a nice sing-along, but there's no soloing happening across the fretboard, or just sort of being able to play, right up across the fretboard. And but what if there was? So what if he or she sort of says, I have a tune in my head, and starts strumming sort of a cool tune and starts setting the scene, this rhythm, and the keyboard player sort of starts playing this. Oh, that sounds really nice. And they say, can you make this a bit more interesting? It's in the key of B minor. And you go, yeah, I'll give it a shot. And so you're thinking, I'd love to be able to do that, but I'm not there yet. And hey guys, I was there too, right? I felt so frustrated. I felt stuck. We used to jam. We used to just play some chords, mess around. But as I say, I was stuck. So, I got the textbooks out. I was learning my scales. I was doing the triads, making up it's looking at how the chords were made up. Yeah, I was just doing my head in with theory, and it was just boring, right? And let me just get one thing straight: theory is super important. Is the building blocks of all music, of course. And so I'm not in any way saying don't learn theory. I'm just saying it's boring. And I was sort of, looking for ways how I could simplify my life in terms of guitar playing, and I just couldn't find anything. But I stumbled my way through with all the theory and everything, and it does done me great, right? Today I can play some nice solos, but I thought to myself, how can I share my simple tips, my simple tricks that I've come to learn, to realize over the years with you guys? And if this is something that resonates with you, then fantastic. This is the correct, right place to be at this point in time. And if not, that's fine. If you're a guitar teacher out there, or you believe that theory is the be all and end all, then that's great. Go out and do that, guys. But I don't want to focus on that. I want to focus on the fun stuff, right? I want to show you how you can play a solo, how you can construct a solo very quickly, very easily, and without all that theory behind you. And go and learn that theory. Please do. Go out and learn that theory. But as I said, I want to focus on the fun stuff and show you guys a fast track way to get you guys playing solos. Having said that, let me just segue into what I'm doing. So what I want to be doing over the next couple of days, couple of weeks, depending on how long that takes you, and that's completely up to you, is I want to be able to show you in every key how to craft a solo, very simple solo. And we're going to go through it step by step, over a backing track, so you can hear how it sounds, how you feel when you play it. And this will take, you guys having some basic knowledge of the guitar, right? So you'll know some chords, bar chords, specifically, but we'll go into that when I go into the videos that follow here. So what I would say is, please subscribe, guys. If you subscribe, then we can, take this journey even further. Hope that you appreciate what I'm trying to achieve here, making things just simple for everybody. Um, and at any point, please feel free to ask about any of the guitars you may see here. We'll go through some of the gear that I use, what I play my guitars through. And yeah, just let me know generally what you guys think, what problems you're having. Yeah, we can discuss those over the comments, etc. And I'll try to get to every single comment. Um, and once you've subscribed, please let me know you've subscribed, guys. So I know that you guys are interested and engaged, and that helps me to in sort of crafting the content going forward. Hit that subscribe button, and we're going to go into the first pattern of simple guitar soloing in the key of G minor. Alrighty, so let's get straight into it, guys. So excuse that my head is a little bit lower, but I want you guys to see the fretboard of the guitar, right? So how we're going to approach this, we're going to play a solo in G minor. And you guys are going, well, I don't know what that is. I don't know, where to start with that. Well, I'm going to show you exactly now, right? So as the fretboard is kind of, this is the E over here, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, and G. So you've got the G over here, and one octave higher is the G over here. Okay, so you should kind of understand that, and I'm hoping we're sort of at that level already. If not, that's pretty simple to figure out, guys. You should be able to get that basic theory behind you. But that's sort of the extent of the theory we're going to go into. I want to make this fun and interactive, as I said. So the way we're going to approach this is that, this is the backing track, and I'll provide this backing track to you guys for you guys to play over, of course. And this is not my backing track by any means. This is one I've found off YouTube, so just to make that disclaimer. And so this is the great sort of track you can hear, and the solo is going to sound something like this, right? So to start, we're going to start in boxes, right? I'm going to show you the boxes to play as we go along, and how we craft the solo using these boxes. And yeah, it is simple, guys, and I'll tell you why. Box number one, right, is we're going to start here on G, because we're playing in G minor, so logically we want to start in the box where G starts, right? Now I hope that makes sense to you. Remember we said this was F, F sharp, G over here. So this box that we've got here for this this chord is where we're going to play our solo. We're going to start our solo here, okay? So the first thing we want to do is we're going to play the scale for this box, which looks like this. Box one, right? I I want you guys just to practice that over and over. You'll see it on screen now. Now, just to be clear, we don't need to play in that order, or, you know, make sure that the scale, it's going to be boring if you play it like that. Of course it's going to be boring, right? So you can imagine you got the backing track on like this, and you go. It's not wrong, but it's boring as all hell, right? So you're going to mix it up, and that's what we're going to do. We've got this box, you know, you got all these notes you can use, but we're not going to use them all in that exact order. What we're going to do is this. So box 1, again, sounds like this. See what I mean? So you have that little toolkit that you can use, and we're just borrowing some of those notes within that first box, if you like, guys, that we've just been through. You can steal all those notes and they will sound great over G minor. Okay, that's box 1. And you can craft your solo using any of those notes, right? I'm just giving you the example of something simple that I've crafted. And I'm not going to say, hey, go and play exactly those notes. So you got this so far. Just play around with it. You know, I may have got, you know, 1 or 2 things sort of mixed around there, but that's fine. It sounds fantastic, whichever notes you're using in that box. I hope that makes a little bit of sense. And you could have done something completely different. You could have gone. Give it a go. We're going to go into the second box coming up, guys. Alrighty, so we're going straight into box 2. Now, just to recap. Remember, we said box 1 looks like this, right? So we're starting on the G. The secret is, guys, that box 2 starts where box 1 ends, right? So if you just memorize the boxes, you're going to be golden. Box 2. So what did we say? We're ending box 1 on the 6th fret, low E string over here. So we go 6, 8, 5, 8, 5, 8. And then what do we do? Well, we just go 5, 7. And then we go 6, 8, 6, 8. Okay, so the second pattern will look like this. And that's on screen now, guys. So again, if you play any of those notes in that pattern, box 1 and box 2 that I've shown you, any of those notes will sound great over a backing track in G minor. Okay, so just to illustrate this, I'm going to play over that backing track again, and don't be scared, guys, have a go. Use any of those notes that I've shown you in box 1 and 2, and you'll sound great soloing over G minor. right, so that's the idea. And as I said, have a go. Don't be scared. Take any of those notes and just play over them, and you'll see. Fumble through them, that's fine. And let me know how you're getting on. We're going to go into box 3 coming straight up. Righty, here we go. So I hope you guys remember, as we go into box 3, what I said before. This box will start where box 2 ended. Okay, so to recap, box 2 looked like this. You know, we started box 2 where box 1 ended. So box 2, remember, looked like this. And so we're going to start box 3 where box 2 ended, which is going to look something like this. So, you know, we said box 2 was 6 to 8 on the low E string, and I'm talking frets here, fret 6 to 8. So we're going to start on 8 to start box 3, and so we're going to go 8 to 10, just like that, 8 to 10 on the low E. We're going to move down to the A string, and we're going to go 8 to 10 again. Very simple. So we got this so far. We're then going to move it down again, 8 to 10, same thing for the D string. So what we've done so far is very simple. Now we're going to mix it up a little bit. And remember, that's because these 3 top strings, they all ended here from the previous pattern, the previous box, guys. So that's why we're starting over here again. These 3, we're going. Okay. Now, the previous box 2 ended. We're going down a string to the G string. It ended here on the 7th fret. So we're going to start on the 7th, and we're going to 10. Okay, so we've got this so far. Then, the B string, we're going to start on 8, because that's where box 2 ended. So, eight to 11, okay? So we've got this so far. And then, the high E string, we're going to play, what are we on here? We're on 8 to 10. That's simple as that. Okay, so I'm going to play that pattern for you, box 3 pattern, over again, just so you guys can see it, all right? Quite a simple pattern actually, right? And that's box 3, guys. So again, let me reiterate, you playing any of these shapes, any of these notes in these boxes for G minor, you're going to sound golden. And they don't have to be in that order. You play them in any order you like, and you're going to sound great. So I'm going to put the backing track on again and just play a little bit in this box and let you guys hear, but experiment. It's important. You guys need to experiment with this. Alright, so that gives you an idea And again, there's no right or wrong. As long as you're playing those notes that I showed you in box 3, you're golden. And then you go down to box 2 and you go down to box 1. And we're getting there. We're getting across the whole neck. Do you see what I'm saying? It is a process, but if you understand these box shapes, you don't need all that theory behind it. You just need to memorize the box shapes. All right, we're going to go into box 4, so stay tuned. Okay, so here we go. We're already on box 4, guys. You guys have done phenomenally well, and I hope you've been able to follow. I know it can be tricky at times, but if you can just grasp that concept of these boxes and how they fit together like puzzle pieces, right? Where the last one ends, the next one starts. And so they really are just puzzle pieces together. And if you can see these pieces in your mind, it'll make soloing a breeze, okay? So, box 4. Remember, box 4 is going to start where box 3 ended. And so, which means that box number 4 on the low E string is going to start on the 10th fret, okay, over here. And all we're going to do is go 10, 13. We're going to move down a string. We're going to go 10, 13. That's what we've got so far. We're going to go down a string again to the D string. We're going to go 10, 12. Down another string to the D. To the G, I apologize, to the G string. We're going to go 10, 12. So what we've got so far is then we're going to go to the B string. Ten, 13. And down to the low E, 10, 13. Now, the special thing with this little box is, it's just maybe my special thing, but I love playing on the B string. There's also the 11 that can be used, right? So you've got 10, 11, and 13 at your disposal here. So you've got something like so I'll play that slowly for you. Box 4, what that looks like slowly, right? So you got 10, 13, 10, 13, 10, 12, 10, 12. You've got 10, 11, and 13, 10, 13. That's box 4, right? So again, they're all connecting. Got box 1, 2, 3, and 4, as I've shown you in the previous ones, all starting where the last one ended. And just go through them slowly, guys. Get them, build that in your mind, build that mind map. And I'm going to put the solo back on, and we can go through a little bit of what box 4 sounds like. Alright, again, no right or wrong. You just play over those notes. Don't play any of the other notes. You stick to these boxes and you'll sound great every time. Alright, well, we're going to move on to the final box, because remember, we're already up here, guys, and the next octave of the G is here. So once we get to octave, we're just going to repeat that pattern, okay? But I'll explain that as we go along. But stay tuned, we're moving on. Right, well, we're already at box 5. This is fantastic, and this is the final box you have to memorize. So you learn 5 shapes, 5 boxes, and you can solo really in any key. And I'll show you why you can solo in any key in a moment. But remember, again, it's a puzzle, guys. It's all a puzzle. So remember, you start the box 5 where box 4 ended. Let's go through it where we were ending. So remember, box 5 will now start on the 13th fret of the low E string, because that's where box 4 ended. Remember, we played. We're starting here, guys. Remember, we're starting here where box 4 ended, okay? 13 to 15, very simple. Fret 13 to 15, we then move down a string to the A string, again 13, 15, very simple. So we got, now we move down a string to the D string, and remember box 4 ended on the 12th fret, okay? So now you got 12, 15, okay? So we've done this so far. Move down a string to the G string, and same thing, 12, 15, because that's where box 4 ended over here. 12, 15, okay? Down a string, we are over here on the 13th fret, 13 to 15, so. And again, low E string, high E string, I apologize. Same thing, 13, 15. So what you got at the end of the day is very simple. You got a pattern that looks like this. And we are then at octave here, guys. This is the G again. We started here, remember pattern 1. We've now come full circle, if you like, to G again over here. You've been through all 5 patterns. You're able to solo across the neck using those patterns, any one of those notes in the patterns that I showed you, and you're golden. You've come full circle to the octave again over here, which is G. And the beauty of it is you start at pattern 1 again over here, right? Very simple. It's like a loop cycle. It just repeats and repeats. So you'll have something like this. Because that's pattern 1. And remember, pattern 2 starts where pattern 1 ends. You're just repeating the same thing. Now you're going to run out of space eventually, of course, over here. And but that's fine. You don't need any more, of course. It's you're playing the whole neck, and it sounds beautiful as you go up and down. Yeah, what I'm going to do eventually is I'll go into another key, and we'll repeat exactly the same things in a different key. But you know, you'll get the gist of it. The patterns stay exactly the same. Doesn't matter what key you're playing in, right? So if you're going to play in A minor, if you're going to play in B minor, the patterns stay exactly the same. But we'll get more into that. So look, I hope pattern 5 was pretty simple for you. It's a pretty simple pattern. And now you have all these tools in your kit, and you can pull out all these notes and play some beautiful solos. So what I'll do is I'll put that backing track back on, and we'll hear what box 5 sounds like. you see, it's really as simple as that. Now, the next section, we're going to go into sort of connecting everything up, right? And how that sounds and what it maybe looks like. So stay tuned. All right, so what I'm going to do now is just put up the backing track again, and I'll play through the backing track. I'll play through every sort of pattern, every box that we've mentioned, and that'll give you an idea visually of you know what that looks like, and you can hear the notes that I'm playing in each of those boxes. So here we go. All right, so that just gives you a sort of a broad idea of what that will look like across all five boxes. And so that brings us to sort of the close of this. Again, I wanted to give you just, you know, it's not easy. I know it's not easy, but I wanted to give you an idea of a simple method that you guys can take away with you, practice it over and over, practice the notes in each of the boxes, and use those notes as you please. And you can craft some beautiful solos just using all those notes in each of the 5 boxes. Again, box 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in G minor. Start again in G over here. Box 1, box 2, box 3, box 4. You're going to run out of space again, but that's the idea, right? It just repeats a different octave up here in G. Same here. It's just G in a different octave. I hope you've had a good time. I hope it's been fun. I hope it's been intuitive. Let me know. I'd love to know if this is helpful, if you've heard it before, if it's rubbish, that's fine. But yeah, it's just something that's been passionate and to me, right? And it's just helped me a lot. It's changed the way I've thought about guitar. There are so many different techniques to guitar, and this is really just one, right? I'm not saying this is the be all and end all, by no means. And I'm not the perfect guitarist, but I certainly have learned a lot from just these shapes over the years for me. And as I said before, this is not for everybody. It may be, you know, completely useless to some. It may be super useful for others, and that's what I'm hoping to achieve with this. As said before, I'm going to be showcasing some of the guitars that I own over here. You know, just I've been running a series called the Guitar Test Drive series, and I've already done, you know, a couple of these guitars. But you know, as and when I'm going to be posting some more and just sort of giving a flavor of these guitars that I own and that I'm really passionate about. So yeah, if you haven't already, please subscribe. I'd love you to have you on board. And yeah, until next time, cheers, guys.